Tom, you have been thrown into the world of sneaker reselling as of late with your new store from another.ca. And I want to know some tips on authenticating real versus fake hype sneakers. I know like each brand has different things. So like maybe just give us like a couple tips for like specifics or whatever you got.
First thing that's helpful, get yourself a black light. When you shine a black light on an authentic pair of shoes, you can sometimes reveal a red stamp that sits on the outsole of the shoe. Sometimes it'll be wiped off. You can also reveal cut lines that weren't erased when the person put together the shoe because it's more sloppily made because it's inauthentic. So it'll reveal kind of like little dashed lines that sort of sit along some of the seams of the shoe. And then the third thing being...
okay, go ahead, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Is it? Oh, no, continue the blacklight thing.
Oh, so that's the thing. And then the other thing would just be look at the stitching. Nike QS or, Adidas QS is getting a little bit worse these days, but the stitching should always be in like a really even and straight line. And the edge of the material that stitching sits beside should always have an even amount of room beside the stitching. So it shouldn't waver and get thicker. Like the material thicker outside the stitch as you go along. It should stay nice and even right alongside the stitch.
Okay. Back to the blacklight thing. So do you get yourself like a blacklight flashlight? Is that what you have?
We have like one of the bar ones underneath the counter of the desk or the counter. Yeah.
So if it has the stamp on the outer sole, it's not real?
That is correct. Yeah. It's a marking from the second factory or what.
And what does the marking look like? Like a weird Chinese writing?
It depends on like how, like if the shoe's worn, sometimes it gets like smudged. So it's like a red, like you won't see it under the black light, and then there'll be this like either a smudge on the outsole or and look like a perfect stick with like either a symbol or Chinese writing or sometimes a circle. Yeah. And wash it off too, just so you're aware. So that's not 100% tell all, but we've found out a decent amount of fakes that way.
Each time a new sneaker comes into the hype world, right? Like if a sneaker drops one day, no one's ever seen it in hand, and then all of a sudden, like they come running through the door, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's tried and true methods, like you're saying this method, right? That kind of work. Those two methods you just gave us work for any sneaker.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. And then each different drop has its own telltale things that you have to figure out over time, right?
Yeah, like certain models like have different tells. Like the Jordan 1, for example, when you look at the back of it and you hold it to your eyesight, it should have like an hourglass figure. It shouldn't just like stick out like a V. Or like the Jumpman on the back of the Jordan 4, like he should never have a belly or an ass. He should always have 4 fingers on each hand and shoelaces, right? So there's little as well.
So the shape of the sneaker is like sleek instead of like looking like that. Just means
it would almost be like hourglass. Yeah. Like you can get like if I just like blow them out because I have cankles. Sometimes you can wear them in so that they're like that, but they should typically have like the hourglass shape on the back.
Thomas Cankles, everybody.
I promise I don't.